Okay, now we're on Parasha Lech Lecha and Torat Chaim. We're going to redo Ot Zayin on page 182. So to recap from last time, we said there's a concept where Avram and Sarah, they had to go into Egypt, and they had to go there, and then when they went there, Sarah was captured by the Egyptians. They brought her to the home of Paro, and the whole story like that. And we explained that it represents the Malchus of Kedusha going into the Malchus of Klipa, and it's the Galus of Shechina. That's how it's the time of Galus, that they have power over us, so to speak, because it looks like they're taking the Shefa down from the Kedusha. And we explained the Sare Alfim and the Sare Mashkin, the ministers of the drinks, ministers of the baking, represents two parts of a person, Chokhmah and Bina, and then the voice is the one that brings them together. So when a person speaks, he brings them together, and it's the way the Shefa flows from, he said, from the Keter and also from the Malchus, and it goes down into the main organs, which is the brain and the heart. Then the exterior organs, the backside, which is the Paro, wants to get some of the Shefa, so therefore it has to enclose itself inside of it to get the Shefa. And that's what they want. That's what it means when they took her. This is the concept of the Sod Galut HaShechina. The Shechina goes into Galus. It says every time the Jews went to Galus, the Shechina went with them, and then through that, whatever nation where they were under had the most amount of power because the Shechina went inside of them, and the Hashem is not going to if He is there, it has to be good. So that every nation that we have that get rulership over the Jewish people, they have to, that nation becomes the greatest nation on earth. So that's happened in times of Egypt. Okay, so Paro became so great, and we see that also when the Jewish people later on went there. After Yaakov went down to Egypt, this is the grandson and the great-grandson of the Pharaoh that Avram Avinu and Sarah had when they were there. The Pharaoh there, okay? So,
is there any connection between, because you're saying the backside of this, whatever that process we're identifying, is there any connection between when it says that Moshe saw the back of God's head? Is there some sort of allusion in that?
Yeah, because Moshe only saw the Chitzonis of the Shefa, so it's the same concept.
So what would that mean? What does that mean he's seeing in terms of using this analogy?
Well, Moshe had a prophecy of a certain level of Kedusha. And it was a certain level of it wasn't the Pneumius of the vision, because no one's able to see that. It was only the Chitzonis of the vision. You understand? He only was able to have a glimpse of the exterior aspects of the Shefa flowing down.
So, and that's what's connecting the back.
Yeah, it's certain. The bag, the knot of the tefillin there's more things going on there, but it's the concept is in a general way it's the same. It means the exterior level of the Shefa, not the inner part of the Shefa.
So seeing God through nature, but seeing the process.
I wouldn't say it's nature, because it says it in Tanya at the levels that he was able to see. It was a very high level. It was chitzonis of Netzach and Hod, of, I think what I remember saying it, there's a tzilus, the way it's mistavish in Bria, and chitzonis of the Nehi, of that level. That means the backside.
Okay.
So that's the backside of that. It's everything's own bechina, but it's generally related to what we're saying here. Well, you wouldn't say it's klipas noga, it's a very high level of Moshe Rabbeinu, so beyond a place. Even though you could say that klipa exists on every world, but in the world that he saw it in, it wasn't compared to like it is in this world. In this world, you have mainly klipa and a little bit of good. In the next world, half-half, and then Bria is already majority good and a little bit of bad, and then Atzilus is like all good, a tiny little bit of bad.
And Moshe saw in Bria.
He saw Atzilus mistavish and Bria, so it's already mostly good there. So the level that he saw there, it's not even like, I don't know if you could even say it's a klipas noga at that level. It's like majority is good in that level.
So this idea of Paro being the backside, where is that being drawn from?
So we said it is at its spiritual level, but it also had happened in this world too. But in the level of power represents just klipas noga.
And that klipas noga could be
Malchus
on any level of world?
What world is it talking to? What is it about? I'm not sure. Because like when Paro comes down here, he's a bad dude, but it could be the source where he came from is actually, it's not bad, it's just an exterior level. This is a discussion. There's a discussion about this in Chassidic. Like the lion, it says it comes from Chesed. Even though when it comes down here, it's very gevura, it destroys everything, eats everything up. But it comes from Chesed, and the source from Chesed, it comes from Keter. So the spiritual source is good, but when it comes down to this world, it's bad. so to speak, because it destroys everyone else.
It does cause balance, like when wolves.
Yeah, it causes balance in the creation, but the acts that it's doing is not necessarily good acts in and of itself, you know. So to begin with, you have to understand the reason why Avram and Sarai had to go to Mitzrayim. So it says, what our forefathers did is a sign for us. Whatever they did, we have to learn lessons from. Okay. Okay, so what was the lesson? Was their going down to Egypt was a lesson for us going down to Egypt, where the Jewish people went down for 210 years. Okay, and they were able to come out from the Nun Shari Tuma to Kedusha Elokit in order to receive the Torah panim al panim. To receive the Torah face to face, they're able to do that only through going to Egypt and going to the lowest level. So when Avram and Sarah went over there, okay, and they made a certain koch there, Sarah, which is Malchus of Kedusha, went into Galus in the house of Paro and came out with Kedusha and Tara. So Avram and Sarah went out of Egypt. They gave strength, okay, of the Malchus of Kedusha, that when the Jews go into Mitzrayim, the Shekhinah was with them, that they should go out from there with Kedusha and Tahara. So this that Avram Avinu went into Egypt and came up here, gave us strength to also go into Egypt and come up here. That was at the time then, but it also applies now. Anytime a person's going into a certain level of Egypt, he knows that whatever constraints he's going through, he's able to come out pure in the end. Any difficult thing that happens to you, different tests, you come up here. Avram did it, you could do it too. So now, there was another kavana that Avram and Sarah went to Paro, Melech Mitzrayim. As we said, that the children of Abraham, which is Yaakov and those descendants, were going to be in Egypt too. As we said last time, that each rulership becomes the strongest when the Jews are under them. Okay, and the Shekhinah goes with them. Okay, now we're on paragraph Tet. And every galus, like in this last galus, like we see in every generation, that every time there's the Jewish people under a certain nation, in galus, all the goyim in that generation get very powerful and strong. Okay, like when the Jews went into Mitzrayim, because the Shekhinah is with them, it says, Anochi already mach. Therefore, there's a big aliyah to the nation of Mitzrayim. Be'osher, be'kavod, be'gdula, kol goyim. On all the nations in the world, Egypt was the powerhouse of the world.
Did they not already have a lot of mazal before they came? Because Avram's going there because of the famine. So they must have had something before then.
Maybe God prepared it in such a way that it would have it. But even then, later on when the Jews went there, it's because Yosef was so smart, he was able to prepare for the years to come. And because of the preparation he made, Yeshavu Mashbir, and then everyone said, oh my gosh, this is where we got to go to, because Yosef prepared it all. Mm-hmm. Packed away some...
But didn't the famine end once Yaakov went there?
Once Yak of Winter?
The famine ended once Yaakov went to Mitzrayim.
Also.
That's why all the Mitzrayim praised Yaakov.
Also true, yeah, also true.
Then why was there still a famine where Yaakov lived in Eretz Yisrael?
He had to come down to see Yosef. Could be some different reasons for it. But so Yosef he prepared all the non-perishable items for a time where you can't get them. But the Mitzrayim, okay, so when Avram and Sarah went down, they went down through the famine that was in the whole earth, Kol Haaretz. And they באו כולם לשבור אוכל למצרים וקבץ כל כסף זהב שבעולם. כמו שהיה על ידי יוסף ממצרים לפרעה, נינו ונכדו ונתגדו ביותר עד שפרעה נינו ונכדו יום מלך. So when Yosef was in Mitzrayim, Paro became so powerful, and this greatness that he was able to receive, he can only come to Paro, which is the Malchus of Klipas Noga. He can only come to power because Avram and Sarah with him to begin with. So I think that answers the question we had, that when Yosef went into Egypt, they were already very powerful, is because Avram and Sarah went there to give him power already from then. And that's what it means. There was a Rav in the Aretz, and then Avram went down to Egypt, and specifically through Sarai, that was the wife of Avram, which is Malchus of Kedusha, that goes down to give to Malchus of Klipas Noga, which is the sword of Galut, Behelim, a hidden Galus, Va'aya Tam Bezek Livro. And the reason for this is to refine it, to Litan Kochel Ben Israel, and to give strength to the Jewish people, being that they're in Galus of Paro, his great grandson, that they're able to leave with a Rechush Gadol, big treasures. And that's what it means. Sarah was taken to Beit Paro, and the woman was taken to Beit Paro because since Sarah was the Malchus of Kedusha in the house of Paro, which is the Malchus of Klipas Noga, there was a big shefa that went to Malchus of Klipas Noga until the last Paro was able to subjugate the Jewish people to be his slaves.
I don't understand. What does that mean? The shefa went into the Klipas Noga?
Sarah represents the Malchus of Kedusha, so she goes into the house of Paro. That means she represents the end of the shefa flowing down and down to the lower levels. So she brought the shefa into the house of Paro.
So the klipa, whatever that is, it's broken or it's revealed?
What do you mean klipa? Like Paro, you saying?
I'm saying we see klipas noga. So the wording is the shefa went into the klipas noga. Like how is one to understand what that means?
I mean the flow of spiritual life force and sustaining force that normally flows in its normal ways into holy and related things. Now because Sarah went to Egypt, it flew through her into Egypt.
So that shell is gone, or it's healed?
What shell?
Or the klipa, isn't it?
The klipa of what?
Of klipas noga, whatever.
Well, klipas noga could go both ways, but if it's in Egypt, it's going to the other way, not the Kedusha way, l'chora.
So there's something there. So she's taking it back.
Well, they had to go down to make the Paro great, the nation great, and then eventually we took it back. We left there and got into Geula, we took it back. So, Tov, Elyon, the Kedusha, Lakit. So the whole thing was only to reveal and to take out the hidden good of holiness that was hidden inside of them. Okay, it's basically inside of Egypt there existed some hidden good. So by going into it, the Galish Shechina, the Malchus of Kedusha, goes into the Malchus of Klipas Noga. By doing that, it's able to afterwards take out good that was hidden inside of it.